Hey y'all, welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. Um, I appreciate you all for joining me. I meant to put this on the community tab that I was going to be going live, but of course, I forgot, y'all. I had some other things going on and I was unable to do it. And I just thought, hey, I will film it. And whoever joins, joins. And you all can. Hey, Miss Sue, good to see y'all. That you all can definitely watch it later, right? So, um, anywho, hey, ma'am, I'm glad you're here. Thank you all for joining me. I am going to be sharing some things. I need to see if I can find my. Got to get the Bible out, right? Before I jump into this, I am going to ask, hey, ma'am, good to see y'all. I'm having the hardest time with my computer tonight. I am not sure. I really think it's this streaming software. I may have to do something a little bit different because it just continues to give me trouble. And I don't understand why. I thought it was my computer, but I honestly think, because this is my new computer that the kids got me for my birthday, I honestly think that it is just this software that is not allowing me to be great most of the time. But guys, let me know where you're chiming in. This is going to be very informal. And we're just going to chat like old with you. If it's not, hey, this is my live and you don't have to be on it. If old friends is not how we friendly. Okay, very good. So before I jump into this, I want to say two things. The first thing is I am not giving any health advice. I'm not a health coach. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a doctor. I'm not any of those types of things. I'm just sharing with you my journey. I've shared a lot, but I haven't shared all the things. And I think there are a lot of people who are interested in a little bit more than what I have shared in the very beginning. I will tell you this just because I want to make sure that we know this truth. And y'all remember to let me know where you're chiming in from. If we go to Proverbs 11:14, this is where I'm jumping in with, y'all know some things, but not everything. So Proverbs 11:14, if my phone would work. Y'all, it's like technology is not allowing me to be great right now. The devil is a liar. I don't appreciate. It's very, very slow, and I don't know why. Okay. Hey, ma'am. Good. Well, listen, I think thank you for saying that. And some people might agree, some might not agree. I definitely pray that I have been an inspiration to people, but I don't want to be anybody's final end all be all, right? Because we all have to, you got to have a source greater than me. I appreciate being that, and I can't, my phone is acting crazy. It's acting crazy, y'all. Praying for it. It's acting crazy. But anywho, I'm going to jump in. Proverbs 11:14 says, where no counsel is, the people fall, but in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. So that's Proverbs 11:14. So let me just take y'all back on the journey and then I'll bring y'all forward because I feel like that's going to give us the best overall view of this story. Oh, Lord, just do. That's it, y'all. My computer is not letting me be great. The best view of where I'm going with this. So the title says finally telling the truth. And I've told the truth the whole time. I just have not told everything. You know how in this social media world, sometimes your whole truth brings a lot of it brings a lot of opinions, and it brings a lot of people who have very mean opinions. It brings out the health experts who know everything about your health and they know everything about your life and your body, and they are the resident experts. So I didn't want to share too much because I really honestly, and I've said this in other videos, I didn't want anybody's opinion on it. If I go back to Proverbs 11:14, where it says, where no counsel is, the people fall, but in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. There are actual people in my life who have been with me all the time I've been dealing with my weight, and not just people who randomly watch me every now and then, if that makes sense. So I wouldn't come to this space for counsel unless you and I had a relationship that was beyond this computer screen. Does that make sense? If I'm making sense, y'all let me know. Don't forget to like the video, share. I don't know why that title. I meant to change that title, y'all. Sorry. This should just be Shakema. It should be Shakema One Mom. I don't know. I've been having issues. Anywho. So anyway, let's go back to 2023. Well, let's go back early 2023. We're in 25. So about 2 years ago, we'll start there. About 2 years ago, I had been on my keto journey, living my best life, doing all the things. I'd actually been on keto for a very, very long time. Prior to that, and I was doing exceptionally well in my journey. I had gotten as high as 250 pounds with my pregnancy with Jackson. I had been teeny tiny, like really tiny. I was 142 pounds when I had Shamika and was fitting a size 5, right? Yeah. The day I left the hospital, of size 5. Lord help us. So that was, and I had been tiny my whole life. And then when I got married, well, it was actually when I started to drive, because prior to that, especially when you live in New York, you walk everywhere. And then when I moved to the South, my grandparents they were not the first Ubers. My grandparents didn't drive us anywhere. If we needed to go to the store, we had to walk 2.5 miles. You had to walk I really did have to walk 2.5 miles to school. It is not just a thing. That real. Because my grandparents weren't going to drive us anywhere. So we walked a lot. We were on the farm. We did farm chores. We did all the things. And so my body was always moving, and I was always little. I was born little. I was premature, 4 pounds, 7 ounces. So I was always little. When I got my license at 18 and I started driving places, I didn't have any need to walk anywhere anymore, right? Makes sense? So because that is what it was, my metabolism, I guess, slowed down. And then I got married and all this. And then I had Trandon. And then I ended up having Alana. And then, of course, having Jackson. Well, throughout all of that time, I've always had heavy cycles. Since I was 10 years old, I would have a heavy cycle. And that thing would just, hey now, good to see everybody. That thing would just have me down so bad. It would just have me really, really down so bad, to the point where I could hardly even walk those times when I was having my cycle. And that was my life up until I was in my late 30s. And one day I went for my my yearly exam, and I was talking with my doctor, and he was asking me some questions. The first question was about incontinence. Do you have issues with that? I said, I can't even make it from my classroom to the bathroom, which was not a long way at that point, without wetting my pants. I always wore something, you protect yourself, but I couldn't make it that far. And the heavy cycle, and it would just weigh me down. And he looked at me and he said to me, Shakema, he said, you are not living. He said, this is no way to live. We can help you fix this. Now, in all of this time, I'm gaining weight, and you think it's just the marriage weight. Maybe it's the baby weight. Maybe it's all the things. It's unhealthy eating. It's driving through and picking up and all of the things. I cook Southern country because I'm from the country. And so that is just really what I knew. Fried everything, bread with every meal, Kool-Aid, sweet tea, all those things is just how I grew up. Again, my grandmother was small, my grandfather was small, but on my dad's side of the family, my grandmother, if you seen my 600-pound life, my grandmother was like 700 or 800 pounds, my dad's mom. And she just was my whole life. Now, my grandfather was tiny. How in the world did they end up doing but whatever. But that was my grandmother. She was big, and my auntie was big. And then I had, other family members. And it was like, oh my God, how did we get to this point? So there was predisposition to be heavy, even though I was not heavy until I started gaining weight at 18. Couple that with asthma, because that's been an issue. So exercise induced asthma, right? Doesn't allow you to go to the gym. And because when you do, you have issues. And then couple that with high blood pressure. I started to have issues with high blood pressure. I actually ended up having gestational diabetes with Jackson. And I was going into preeclampsia with Jackson, which is why he was born 2 weeks early. They just said, your blood pressure is way too high. You got to go and have him now. And so that's where I was with that. So couple all of that and then throw in a divorce, a separation and divorce that I didn't count on, didn't know anything about. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me right now. So the divorce comes, and then I'm having this conversation with my doctor at the time, and we decide that I needed to have a hysterectomy. So I didn't have a full, I had a partial, which I kept my ovaries to help with some of the hormone balance, right? I wasn't on replacement therapy, praise God. But I still don't have some working parts. Now, where I'm from, for a woman to have had her part surgically removed, she's been called a dead woman. Like, there's nothing, she ain't good for anything anymore. I'm so thankful that I am out of that mindset, because I've had all the children I plan to have. I don't plan to have another one. Praise God. Hallelujah. Amen. And all that. So I was good with that part. I was getting towards the latter part of my life. I was not doing anything that would have warranted me having babies anyway, because I was separated and divorced. And it's been that long since any of those types of things have taken place. But I have all these emotions and all these things happening to me. So now we're in 2023. I'm under doctor's care. I'm on 2 different blood pressure medications. I'm on asthma medications. I'm on all these other medications. But I'm doing very well because my keto is helping me. I'm doing my eating. I did Weight Watchers. I did Whole30. I did keto the longest. I mean, you named it, I've tried it. Well, all of a sudden, I started doing a 75 hard challenge. And that's where you do 2 workouts a day. One has to be outside, 45 minutes each workout. And then you have to do all this other stuff. So I started that, but I had caught COVID before that. No, I had caught COVID while I was doing the 75 hard. And when I caught COVID, it actually stopped the 75 hard. I had gotten to day like 35, doing all the things. And so I had to do a brand deal video. It was a clothing review back when I was doing Nadine West, and I was filming it in my closet. And I had just spoke in May at a ladies' luncheon, and I knew what I looked like. Looked amazing, very good. And this was probably 4 months later, so about June, July, August, September. I had to film this video. I filmed the video. I went back to review the video footage, and I was huge. And I didn't realize that I was that big. It was 4 months. And I have the picture. I posted it several times. I've got short hair. I'm wearing a black top. And just beside it, I'm in all red with flowers. That's 4 months difference. And I had gained 40 pounds in 4 months. And I didn't understand what was happening to my body. So I went to the doctor, and I was beside myself at this point. Now, listen to me very carefully, please, because this is very personal to me. And so I'm asking you to be kind in the comments, because it's personal to me, and this is my life. And I realize I do share it, but some people are unkind. But I am being vulnerable here. I never wanted to share this, but I felt the Lord leading me to share it, because maybe somebody could use it, right? So I go to the doctor, and now I'm thinking something is wrong with my hormones. There's got to be something wrong. And I said to my doctor sitting in her office, and we've been together for years. We've been together, Alana's 21. We probably been together 19, 20 years. She and I, she's been my same doctor. Because after I had my hysterectomy, I didn't have to go back to the gynecologist anymore. I had to just get a family doctor. And so she's been that for me. And so I went to her, and I'm doing all this research online trying to figure out what's going on with my body. I don't understand. Something is wrong. And I'm telling her something is wrong with me. You got to help me. And she's like, Shakema, everything is good. Yeah, we could lose a little. Yes, you gain a little weight. I said, you don't understand. And I said this to her, and I hope this doesn't get any. I said, if you don't help me, I said, where I am right now, and this is me, saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled, fire baptized, love the Lord with all my heart. I said, if you don't help me figure out what's wrong with me, I'm going to throw myself out the window. Because I was just in this, I couldn't figure out what was my problem, what was my issue. There's got to be something wrong with me, because my body is not right. Something is amiss here, and I need you to help me. And I finally said to her, I said, I need you to do hormone tests. I need to do it. And she's like, Shakema, I don't really do those on my patients. I don't care what you do on your patients. I'm talking about me. And this is me having this conversation with her. Now, the old Shakema would have taken her, I don't do this on my patients, and been like, yes, ma'am, very good. I'm beyond this now. I'm outside of my mind. I'm outside of my thinking here, because something in my body is telling me it is not right. I'm having hot flashes and night sweats. I wake up, my bed is soaking wet, and I ain't been nowhere with nobody. I ain't doing nothing but sleeping. If I can sleep, I'm waking up at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, and I can't go back to bed. I'm up. Y'all, I was going 20 hours, and then I would get 4 to 5 hours. Still, 5 hours is like my sweet spot. If I get 6, praise God, but 5 hours is all I'm going to get at night. So I was working, just trying to do all the things. And she says, okay, fine, I'll do the test. She does the test. Nothing is weird according to the test. It's all looking good. And she finally says, she says, well, I have a doctor friend, and she helps people like you who just need a little bit of something. Maybe we can tweak. She does a lot of holistic stuff, and she'll just kind of tweak you a little bit. And she's had great success. So I said, perfectly fine. So I go, I make an appointment. This is in probably August of 2023. I call the doctor, get the referral, and we talk. We're just doing it virtual because, of course, lots of virtual stuff was happening around then. And we talk, and now I'm doing food logs and all the things, and I'm still getting fatter. I'm getting fatter, and I'm getting fatter, and I'm getting fatter. And I don't understand. And I'm telling her, I said, I'm not sure what's happening. So we met a couple times, but it didn't really go anywhere. She and I didn't do anything beyond a couple meetings. I was like, this ain't working because I'm getting fatter. You telling me not to eat this, and I'm not eating this. And here I am, and I'm just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, I went from 250 pounds down to like 208 was my lowest. By the time I had started meeting with this second doctor, now this is the second doctor, by the time I had started meeting with her, I was back to 231 pounds. And I'm doing the 75 hard. I'm working out. I'm doing the challenge. I'm doing all the things. I'm eating the right foods. And it's like I am unsure what is happening again to my body. I go back to the doctor, and I've done all this research, and I've done all this research. And I was talking with a friend of mine who's very much into physical fitness and health and all of these things. And I said, I found this thing that I think I'm going to ask the doctor about, and I'm not sure about it. And she was like, oh my God, right. So another one of our coworkers was going to go to her doctor for the same thing. And she's like, yeah, she's going to go too. And we don't know if it's covered by insurance. You should really ask. So I go back to my doctor, and I say to her, because a lot of people have accused me of things that have been absolutely false. And I say to her, I need something to help me with my weight loss. I cannot do it on my own. I am doing my very best. I'm doing all the things and nothing is working. And I said, I've been doing research and I have found Wegovy. I said, I've done some research. I think this would be good for me. I just need you to write me a prescription. And my doctor says to me, Shakema, I absolutely 100% will not write you a prescription for Wegovy. And I'm like, ma'am, can you come over here and we can talk about this? I know I'm usually pretty calm and I'm relaxed and all that, but you're not hearing me. I'm telling you that I am getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And you don't want me to have a heart attack. I don't want to have a heart attack or a stroke. And you're not trying to help me. Now, back then in 23, I don't know anything for past that, just my experience. Back then, you had to get approval from your insurance to pay for it. And it only could be if you were diabetic or if your body mass index was a certain number. So at that point, my body mass index was at 32, maybe. I don't remember the number. I'm 5'5 3/4" tall. I was 231 pounds. If you want to know how big I was, I have a picture on my Facebook. It is me in a burgundy dress. I have blonde hair and I'm standing at church, but I was huge. Just look at my legs, huge. And so I'm telling her, I need help here. So you couldn't just get it on your own. It wasn't find a third party person or we can give it to you, all these things. None of that was the thing. And so she said and I just kept advocating for myself. I think what I'm trying to say here, if this is helpful, you have to know your body well enough to know that it is not functioning the way you need it to function. And then you have to be your own self-advocate because nobody else was advocating for me. There was no husband that I could talk to. My kids were too small. I just had to go and advocate for myself and tell her something is unwell and it's making me unwell here and I need your help. And so with that being said, she said to me, okay, Shakema, here's what I'm going to do. She says, the only way that I will even put in for the prior approval, for the pre-authorized, I don't know what you call it, is if you will go back and meet with the other doctor. You got to be under her care before I will even put in any paperwork for you at all. Try to see if they would do it. I said, listen, at this point, I'll do anything because I'm just in a place with myself that I can't live with who I am anymore. Now, the Lord has brought me a mighty long way since then, but y'all just follow me. And I do appreciate everybody in the comments. You don't know how challenging this is and has been to walk this thing out. And the reason I didn't share a ton is because of the comments. People always have their opinion of your life. And at this point, you don't have to wake up in my fat girl suit and I don't really care, right? So I make my appointment with the other doctor and we're just chatting. She's getting all of my details. Now, we met back in August, but now we're in October. And so my goal, and I told my doctor, I said, I just need 6 months, just 6 months to get myself together because I don't know what's wrong with me. And so I meet with the other doc. I actually go into the office. I don't want to meet with you online. I'm an in-person type of person. Let's sit down. Let's talk. You going to see me. I'm going to see you. We're going to get the things together. We're going to have all this good conversation and you going to help me figure out this thing. And so she said to me, she said, Shakema, I think we can do this just with the diet. I said, I don't think we can. We've already tried that. It hasn't worked. So I'm going to need something different. She says, okay, the only way that I'm going to do the pre-approval is if we do the diet as well. And I said, okay, fine. So I left her office knowing that I was going to have to tweak my eating in order for her to even request from my insurance based on my BMI that I could get on this Wegovy. And so the rules were very strict. They only give you a small little dosage for you get 4 weeks at a time, right? So one injection every week, same time, one injection. And then after about 6 to 8 weeks, you got to go back to your doctor and you have to have met a goal loss, right? If you don't lose in that certain amount of time, they take your pre-authorization, pre-approval, whatever, they take it away. And so in order for me to get the medication, it was like $2,400 without insurance. With insurance, it was $24 a month. And so I told the doctor, I said, listen, if you're going to help me, I'm just asking you to give me 6 months. Just give me 6 months to get myself together. Now, by this time, let me get my dates together because I need to make sure that I'm telling y'all the right stuff. I met with her in October. Let's see. Okay. So I think I got my first dosage like in October of 2023. I started doing what I needed to do, my 1 shot a week. Now, the thing about it is, in the very beginning, I didn't see a ton of weight loss. I didn't see it for a very long time, but I still had to keep on the program because I was meeting with her. We were meeting quite often. I was having to go in to weigh and do all the things. And I didn't start to see weight loss probably for about 5 or 6 months. But I had told her, I said, I just need 6 months. Well, around about the 6-month time, this was, probably about the time I was on it for like 4 months-ish or so. I can't remember all the dates, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm trying to give y'all the best information. We had started hearing rumblings from the insurance company that they weren't going to be doing it anymore. So I knew that they weren't going to be approving it anymore. And if you wanted it, you were going to have to pay for it without insurance. And I knew that was beyond my reach. I knew I didn't have that. So I told the doctor when we got around to like the 6 months time, I said, I know for sure that I'm coming up on this 6 months, but I'm going to stick to my word. I just said 6 months. That was what I asked for. I'm sticking to my word. I'm not asking you to do anything else past that. Now, she was so pleased with the weight loss because, they put you on this little scale thing and they're making sure that you're meeting those goals. And she said, Shakema, you're doing amazing. And most people don't meet those goals. Now, I'm still big. I'm still fat. I'm still in 200 pounds, but I've lost the first 12 pounds, right? I lost those pounds. And I am moving in a positive direction, but I'm still not where I need to be. And every so often, they raise your dosage. You and the doctor discuss all of that, and they raise your dosage. So because there were rumblings that they were going to stop paying for it, my doctor said, let me tell you something. She said, girl, you better ride that train out as long as you can. So we got a note from our health insurance saying April 1st of 2024, they would no longer be approving it. So I knew that I had until April of 2024. So what ended up happening is in March, the last week of March, because I was working with a private pharmacy, they made sure that I got one extra refill the very last of March that would take me through April of 2024. And by that time, I was on the highest dose that you could get, which I think was 2.0. I don't even remember now, y'all. It's been so long. I was on 2.0 dose, and I was getting ready to go to Shamika's wedding because she got married in May. So I finished up about the last week of April was the last time I had any type of anything. That was in 24. And so I got to her wedding in May, and Shamika looked at me, and she we weren't on good speaking terms at that point because we just had a little falling out about some things, but I still went to the wedding. And she said, once everything got figured out, she said, "Mom, I thought you were sick and something was wrong with you." She's like, "You look so bad." She said, "I just didn't understand what was going on." Now, by that time, I had went from 231 pounds down to 161 pounds. So if you add in my top weight at 250, I'm now at 161 pounds. I had lost 89 pounds. 89 pounds. My goal was to lose 100 pounds. I had always wanted to lose 100 pounds. I just wanted to be back in the 100s. I mean, I had not seen 100s in a long time. Now, saying all of that, I would look in the mirror as I was getting out the shower or whatever, getting dressed, and I would look at myself. And the only thing I could think of in my head was my mama. When my mama came to live with us for those last couple months of her life, my mama was very, very thin. And I kept telling myself, "Shakema, something's wrong with you. You are," and everybody's like, "Oh, you look great." And I felt great. I didn't feel bad. I didn't feel anything. I never had stomach paralysis. I never had any of the things that other people said they had. I had 3 episodes where I actually, vomited or whatever. Just 3 in the whole time that I was doing what I was doing. What it did for me, but I knew that I didn't look right. I felt like I looked like my mama. And my mama, because she was so thin with that cancer, was just eating her body up. That's all I could see in the mirror. I didn't see Shakema. I saw my mama. And I thought, Lord, this is not right either. Right? Being heavy wasn't it. Being this thin isn't it. And I'm still trying to find that happy medium of that go between where I'm okay with myself. Now, what that medication did for me was it did curb my appetite. So I could fix a meal, but I would eat a bite of this, a bite of that, a bite of this, a bite of that, because it really shrinks your stomach. It tricks you into thinking like you've had the sleeve or the whatever, that tummy surgery, which I never did have. But even that little bit, I was full and satiated because it was meant to only be a little bit consumed at a time. And so again, I got down to 161 pounds, and then it was over. And everybody says, "But you're going to gain weight again." That's online, that's the buzz, that's the hum and all that. And you're going to gain weight again. So now I just went from I'm too big to I'm too small to now I'm going to gain weight again. And again, it's this mental thing that you're dealing with. And I'm praying, "God, please don't let me get fat again. God, please don't let me get fat again. God, please." And I had to go back for a 6-month checkup with my doctor in September of 24. And I had been off the medication now from May to September. And my weight did go back up a little bit. And she was like, "Oh yeah, well," and she's thinking failure, you're not doing what you need to do. You're not somehow doing your end of the deal, even though we got the medication. And I said to her, "Well, I haven't been on my medication since, because they disapproved it now." And she's like, "Oh, that's right." So I went from 161 pounds, I think it was like at 172 in her office. So I had gained 11 pounds. And at some point, and I'm still looking great in my clothes, I'm still fitting my clothes, and I'm doing all the things. But now I don't have that to lean on, and my appetite is coming back. Or I don't even know if my appetite was coming back, but I was eating bigger portions than what I had eaten. I wish I had a little plate to show y'all. I could maybe eat, like if you were going to get a 6-piece wing, I might have ate 2 wings. And that would have been enough to fill me up. Now, when you're totally restricting all of your food, you are going to lose weight. It's no other option. But as I began to gain weight, so when she found out that I hadn't been on the medication in like 5 months, she was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So we're good here. So then I said, but I'm gaining weight and I still don't like this feeling. I need you to help me again. So she prescribed me something else that I could take in a pill form that did the same thing. It was going to help curb my appetite, but that medication pushed my blood pressure up. And she's like, Shakema, this is what I don't want, because we trying to get you off the blood pressure medication. We can't take one thing for the other thing. So we're going to have to stop doing this because it's making your blood pressure go up. She's like, we can sit down and kind of wrap our heads around whatever and try to come up with something else. She's like, there's another thing. We can give you 2 pills. And I was only taking the 1 pill. Now she wants to give me 2 pills. And at some point in my brain, I just said, you know what? I'm done with it. I said, you've been great. I appreciate all of your help, but I got to figure this out for me. And I came home and I prayed about it. I said, Lord, if you can just help teach me what I'm supposed to know for my body and how I can, this is the temple of the Lord, and I need to treat it as such. God, if you can just show me what I'm supposed to eat, when I'm supposed to eat, how much, and I don't discount the doctors. My doctor helped me out so much, immensely. But I haven't been back to her office since September of 2024. It was no need, because now this was between me and the Lord. I had been too big. I had been too small. I had been too scared. And now I just needed to figure this part out. God, help me, because I know you can help me. You can help me figure out my finances. You can help me figure out how to raise kids without a husband. You can help me figure out how to start a small business. You help me do all of these things. You can help me figure out this weight thing. And I began to go on a journey with the Lord in September of 2024. And I'm still gaining weight. I'm still gaining weight by then. I'm like, you know what? And I would see the needle go from 72. Now it's at 75. And I was like, okay, Lord, I'm not going to gain any more weight. And then it went from 75 to 77. And I'm like, God, how do I keep gaining weight? And then it went from 77 and 79. And then it went over to 180. And I'm still wrecking my brain. And the Lord told me, he said, Shakema, you're anxious about this and you're not trusting me in it. But in all of that time, I had decided in August 1st of 2024 that I was going to work out every day for 365 days. Now, I wasn't going to be crazy like this 75 hard where I'm doing 2 workouts and I knew that was going to push my body into perimenopause. I had already pushed my body into perimenopause, which is what my doctor said. She said, Shakema, you're working out so hard that your body, and you don't have all the things, so you've just pushed your body into perimenopause. You're doing a good thing, but your body's not responding well. And I didn't want to harm myself any further by doing more with that menopause thing. I knew it was happening early, but I didn't realize it was happening that early and affecting me the way it was. So I said in August 1st of 2024, I said, Lord, please help me to work out every single day for 365 days. If that's a walk, if that's at the gym, if that's whatever. So in comes my friend, Leland, who lives in Hawaii. Now, before she moved to Hawaii, she used to live here, and we would work out together at Planet Fitness. Now, she this little and I'm this big, and we just became BFFs, right? We work it out together. It's all good. Years and years and years ago, she goes over there, and we just happened to be chatting on Facebook one day, and she's like, hey, girl, I'm doing workouts every day. Do you want me to just send you what I'm doing? I'm like, absolutely. So now I'm getting some agreement for this weight loss. I'm getting into agreement with someone. She can't see me. I can't see her, but she is supporting me by sending me the workout. Now I could go and find it and look and do all the things, but I don't need of that. I'm just doing my best to try to, to try to get things going every day. I'm frozen on the screen. I hope I'm still moving. Let me check my other Facebook. I mean my in if y'all can still hear me, let me know, because I'm kind of frozen right now. What I see is frozen. So I'm not sure if what you see is frozen, but I'm going to try to figure it out. I have no clue why my thing is just acting crazy. And I'm frozen. Very good. Okay. Okay. Let's not be frozen, people. Okay. Lord help me. Can you hear me at all, though? Oh, you can hear me, but I'm still frozen. Okay, I'm going to just keep moving, and hopefully it'll kick itself back into the live feed. I'm going to just keep talking. If you can hear me, we'll just keep moving with it the way it is. Very good. Okay. So she agreed to send me the workouts, and I agreed to do the workouts. So every day she's sending them, she's doing them first. And because she was able to get, even though she's 3 hours behind, she was able to get to the gym before I could get off work. And so what ended up happening is she would just go ahead and she would just go ahead and tell me kind of how the workout was. And then I would do the workout. I would go straight to the gym. Now this is bothering me. If it's bothering anybody else besides me, it's bothering me. Would it be helpful if I would go out and come back in and do a part 2? Maybe that would be better. Or are y'all good the way it is right now? I don't know. Y'all tell me. I don't really love this frozen thing, but if that's what we got, it's what we got. Anyway, so she could get to the gym before I could get to the gym. Now, remember, I have Healthways Gym where I'm able to go to the gym for $29 a month, and I can go to any gym in their network. I've been a member so long, over 10 years, that I can go to any gym in their network. So I'm thinking, okay, God, you've given me the gym membership. Let me do that. Y'all, I'm going to go out and I'm going to come back in. Y'all come back in with me too, okay? Let's do that. I'll do a part 2 because this is bothering me. I know it's my internet. This thing is bothering me. Okay, I'm going to go out. You all come back in 5 minutes because probably how long it's going to take me. Let me see if it'll let me refresh. Now. Oh, there I am. Okay. Hopefully it'll be okay. All right. Can you see me now? Let me know if y'all can see me at all. I can see me, but I don't know if you can see me. I'm gonna go with it. Okay. So, oh, thank you, Rachel. So, my friend was doing the workouts. I'm doing the workouts, and I've decided I made a choice. I was 170-ish, whatever pounds at the time. And I said, I'm going to the gym every day. And now I don't go on Saturdays. And if I'm going to work, I'm going to the gym. So as soon as work is over, I get in the car and I drive straight to the gym. Jackson has his activities after school, so I don't have to pick him up. And if he doesn't want to go to the gym, he can go home on the bus. So this is for me, right? This is the first moment in my life that I am living for Shakema. What can I do for myself? Because I have goals in my life. I want to be married. I want to find love again. I want to do all the things that married people do. And I want to be comfortable doing them. But I'm not currently comfortable. And I've been relying on this one thing. And I've been relying on this one person. And now it's just me and the Lord. And so I began to do that every single day, go to the gym. The other thing was the regret I have when I did the medication was I wasn't going to the gym. I believe if I had been going to the gym and doing the medication at the same time, I wouldn't have gained as much weight back. However, doing what I'm doing now is helping me, right? There are times when I wish that I could be on the medication again, only for the appetite suppression because I am hungry. But there are other times when I'm like, Shakema, this is the life you have, and you have to make the choice. I get to choose self-control. I don't have to overindulge into this. I can have a little bit and move along. That is the true nature of me. I don't have to eat 14 donuts. I can eat one and move along. I can look at you eat them and not eat them. I'm okay with that. And so I began to do the workouts, and then I found another friend, and I said, "Hey, I'm creating a workout group. Do you want to be involved?" And she was like, "Yeah, put me in." And then there was another friend, and she wanted to be involved, and another friend, and there are now 11 of us in a workout group. It's what we call it. It's a workout group, and we share the workout of the day. We share encouragement. We share when we fell off the wagon. We share all these things. Again, the Bible says, there is safety in a multitude of counsel. These women are women who are on the same journey I'm on. They 120 pounds. They out here on perimenopause, menopause alley like me, and we're all trying to do the best things for our body. Our ladies who just recently joined us, she's whole 30. So I messaged her like, "Hey, do you want to do whole 30 with me?" She was like, "Shakema, I can only get my protein in if I do dairy. I can't do it this time." So now I'm out on the whole 30 bus by myself, but I made a commitment to the Lord. I told the Lord, if you help me, I'm going to keep doing what you tell me to do. And so I'm doing whole 30 on my own. I set it up to do before I have something coming up next week. See, now I'm frozen again. Jeez Louise. Y'all got to be kidding me in Jesus' name. That is unfortunate, and I hate that, but we are glad that you found our little community over here. The people who have joined me are amazing people, and I love them very am now. Is I'm between this rock and this hard place, if that makes any sense, because I was confused about not being able to lose any weight. Instead I was gaining weight. So I was at 188 pounds was the highest that I had gotten to. And I kept asking God, I said, "Why am I getting bigger? I'm working out, I'm eating healthy. What's the problem?" Well, I didn't realize that I was gaining muscle. And so that was it was appearing as more weight on the scale. But now that I've gained some muscle, because I've got muscles in there now. Y'all see them. She's in there, right? There's another one, right? I've got muscle now. I'm gaining muscle, which looks like numbers going up on the scale, but I'm still in my smaller sizes. Because I was at a size 22, 24, I'm now in a perfect size 10. And even though I gained 27 pounds back from 161 to 188, I'm still in a perfect size 10. Well, I weighed myself last week and I was at 184.3. So I've lost 4.5 pounds, something like that. And I can understand that. A lot of us are, I have some friends with MS as well, and I do understand that. And so however we have to do it, we just have to do it. And so because I had gained that muscle, I wasn't being kind to myself, thinking, but Shakema, you are actually doing what you need to do. You're doing it. It's just slower than everybody else's. I can't get on here and say, oh, in 30 days, I lost 82 pounds. That's not my life anymore. It was before when I had something to help me, but I don't necessarily know if it was the best help. It helped me in the moment. It helped me to get over a very bad spot in my life. And I think most people would think, oh, she's perfect. She don't never go through anything. Oh, no. Oh, no, no, no. I go through things. I may process them different. I may express them different to other people, but I do go through things. And so where I am today is I have become okay with the fact that if the number on the scale goes up, because I ended up getting a body scale. You know what I'm talking about. The body mass, it checks your fat, your bones, your body mass index, your water. It tracks all of that. And I weigh on that scale. And I have to be okay with that number, even though I'm doing my very best. Now, my stomach, mid-tummy area is still the area that gives me the worst trouble. I still have a few back rolls, but every day I go in the gym and I lift heavy, I lift light, I lift, I'm learning how to take active rest days where I'm not lifting and I'm just walking, or I'm doing the bike, or I'm doing it, something like that. That's what I'm trying to do, because if I keep pushing myself to do weights every single day, my body doesn't recover. And so I need to um I need to give myself time to recover, if that makes any sense, right? I need to and I haven't given myself that grace. That's it, Rachel. Rachel be helping me. Body composition scale. Thank you. And so again, when I look in my clothes, I'm wearing a size medium. I'm not buying large clothes. I refuse to buy anything with a size large in it. I refuse, because I can control what goes in my mouth. I can control how many days I go to the gym. I gave myself a goal in April. In March, it was move 30 minutes a day, at least 30 minutes. And I had been doing the 75 medium. In April, it was 10,000 steps a day. My 45, get my 45-minute workout in and just keep getting my steps. I've been able to get my steps. Now I'm a little bit short on steps today, but if it's the weekend, I do the best I can. I was in the garden today. I did a little bit of stuff out in the garden. I did a lot of weed eating and all that. I try not to just make that my only workout. I do like to go and get into the gym. I was off yesterday and I actually drove myself to the gym on my off day. So one of the things that has been helpful is, thank you, consistency. I'm consistent every day. On Whole30, my diet is very boring. I eat meat and I eat potatoes. That's it. I don't eat cheese. I don't eat dairy. I don't think it's good for my body. I think that my body doesn't love it. My mother didn't do dairy well. My children don't do dairy well. So probably I got the same things. Would I like to have dairy? Sure. But if it's not helpful for me at the moment, and I have fruit, if it's not helpful for me, I'm not going to have it. Now, after my Whole30, I have I went from 6 bottles a day, which was like 96 ounces. My goal in April is a whole gallon. So I get 8 bottles of water. That bottle right there is number 7. And then I take my supplements at night before I go to bed. I still do the magnesium because that helps me with digestion. So I do want my last bottle, my 8th bottle of water. I do that before I go to bed. Intermittent fasting has not been the best for me. because my schedule is weird, if that makes any sense. Now, I'm not making an excuse because typically I do fast. I don't typically eat breakfast. However, being on Whole30, it's easier for me to eat breakfast, but my schedule is all over the place. Depending on what grade level I'm in for the day at school, I might have a class, or, like 7th grade, you'll have one class in the morning. So it's like from 7:53 to like 8:53. Then that whole class is gone. They don't come back until like 11:45. So right about the time I should be breaking my fast, about noon, I have classes. So in order for me to eat, I need to eat between the times that they're at elective classes and lunch, or I won't get to eat until after I leave the gym, which usually is about 4:30 or 5 when I'm picking up Jackson. So intermittent fasting, depending on the day, I think on Whole30, most times I'm eating about 10:30, 11 o'clock. And of course, I'm not eating after a certain time at night. So I do get a few hours in. I just don't prioritize it that way. And I've still been able to lose just by cutting out certain food groups. That has been helpful for me. I think that intermittent fasting works for certain people and body types and schedules, if that makes sense. So that was the one thing that I have with intermittent fasting. I couldn't be dedicated to it every day like I needed to be, just depending on my schedule. So my 8th grade classes, they meet all the way till 1:30, and then I would be able to eat after that. And then 6th grade, they have a class or two here, then you got a break, and then they finish out to the rest of the day. So that was the one thing about intermittent fasting. I forgot what I was talking about. Anyway, I try to do 15. My body composition scale tells me how many calories. So I'm currently at 1,503 calories that I can consume per day based on the scale. That should put me at losing about 1 pound to 2 pounds a week. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. But again, I'm building muscle every day. I do workouts with Sydney Cummings. She's on YouTube. And it helps me to be able to, I go in the gym. I was not always a gym person, right? Because what I do, when you go to the gym, those people are really serious about the gym. Fortunately for me, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. I pray that it helps somebody, and I didn't want to share because, again, but the Lord was like, no, Shakema, you can tell them. And it's not like I didn't tell the truth. I just didn't share everything. I've shared what I could share without having to deal with people who might be unkind. But when you go to the gym, you have these people, they there for real, like they gym people. And fortunately, in my gym, there's a little back room that if they're not doing classes in there, you can use it. So when I first started going to the gym, I would just go right in that little back room. I would set up my phone with the workout of the day, and I would just do my little things, right? Now, because I've been going to the gym very consistently since August, I will actually go into the main gym and work out at the weight rack. I don't do everything in there, especially if it's a leg day and we got to do step ups. I just go in the back room for that. But now I will actually go in the gym and I will work out like everybody else in the gym. But it's taken me time to build up that nerve to be able to go. Oh, wow. That's awesome. Well, at this point, my insurance is not, yeah, it is very, very key for that intermittent fasting is that schedule. But at this point, my insurance is not doing any weight loss, anything. And again, I don't necessarily, I want to see what me and God can do together. I want me and the Lord to work this thing out. It's like, Lord, you got to help me figure this thing out. I've had different people comment about Alana. They say, well, why doesn't your daughter get on the same thing that you're on? and I've said this as kindly as I can. Sister's a grown woman. She lives at home, but she's grown. I can't force her to do anything. However, I can be an example of what life could be like if we all did what we were doing, right? So she's going to make those decisions and determinations for herself. I'm going to support my children. I'm going to be here for them, whatever they need. She's in the group. She's in the group with all the rest of the ladies. She's the youngest person in there, and she goes to the gym. She gets off work and she goes to the gym. There's some other things that we need to be working on with her medically that we're working on. She actually has been, and I didn't share this and I didn't vlog it because I just was trying to respect her. Sister has had pneumonia for about 2 weeks, and she has been very, very sick. She has been very, very sick. She lost 7 pounds in like 4 days because she has not been able to eat. She is just at the point where that cough is not keeping her up anymore at night. And so this is my journey. This is where the Lord and I are together. I do have a goal. I would like to be 175 pounds. I have a pastor's conference coming up, and I want to be the same size I was last time I went to the pastor's conference. So that's my new goal. So that gives me, I think, 9 pounds between now and then to be able to get to that. My new goal is actually 150 pounds, because I feel like, even though I felt like I was very thin at 161, I feel like 150 muscle is going to look better on my body than 161 without working out at all. So I think I can get my body toned up enough to where 150 would not make me look sick, if that makes sense. The other thing is, I actually, for the very first time, have bought workout clothes. I didn't buy them. I got them from a brand, but I have workout clothes. I can actually wear, and I wore shorts to the gym yesterday for the first time, and I don't know how long. I don't own a pair of shorts. Those are the pair that I got from a company, and I actually wore them to the gym. I wore a long shirt, but I actually have a couple sports bras. It is very bad. She has not been well, and has been off from work and all those types of things. And we're all doing our very best to get to where we're going. So I've been on here long enough. I just wanted to share that, get that off my heart. In all honesty, I feel like I'm in the best spot that I've ever been before. And it took a long time for me to get there. I had to manage some stuff. There were some things I had to deal with just in my own heart, my own mind, and my own brain. And I'll see other people who get approval, or they have the extra money to go purchase it. And I'm like, you know what? Me and God got this thing. Whatever way it is, I have my support group. I have my sister who's there if I need a listening ear to talk to. And I'm just going to keep going on the way that the Lord has called me to go on. Now, does that mean that if anything ever became available for me again, would I not do it again? I don't know. I know at today's moment, me and the Lord are moving very good together. I actually had an opportunity to get a trainer at the gym, but then I looked at the bottom line and how much it costs for the trainer. Jesus is free. He paid it all. So if I lean into the Lord and hear what he has me to hear and read what he wants me to read and all those types of things, then I should be able to do this. I should be able to manage my health, manage my weight, manage myself. That is something I believe and feel very, very strongly. So for all of you who have supported me, I appreciate you so very much. You just don't understand how much I appreciate your support. For those of you who think I shouldn't have done it or whatever the case is, very good. As Auntie Tab would say, stay focused. Stay focused. Okay. We're going to move past what you think I should have, shouldn't have done. I'm doing what's best for me. I'm doing what's best for my family. I want to be around to see my kids have kids and their kids have kids and all those types of things. So There it is, the truth. That is all. There's nothing else, no hidden anything. I'm gonna finish my 2 bottles of water. Typically now, because of so much water, I didn't pick this up until just recently. Because I drink so much water during the day, I pretty much am good with 2 meals. I typically try to eat breakfast and I try to eat lunch, like it might be a later lunch, but I don't necessarily have to have 3 meals because I am very full with the water. And so that's helpful for me. Thank you, ma'am. I am doing my very best to be obedient to the Lord. Y'all, tomorrow is the day he is risen. Do you hear me? I am excited. Um, I love it. I'm thankful for Jesus. He is my source of everything. And so when I leaned into him, I just feel amazing about where God has me. Anywho, y'all, I'm gonna go hang out with my kids for a little bit, get myself together. Y'all, so many things are happening over here. I am in an empty nest for real. These booger bears is getting on up out of here. Jackson's taking the SAT very soon. We're going to be, we're getting college stuff all together. That boy is about to be out of here. Praise the Lord. I think him and sister going to go together. Ooh, it's just going to be me and the dogs. I'm trying to get them to take the dogs, but they don't want to do it. They don't want to be split up, but they can take them both. Y'all just take the dogs. Leave me here by myself. Leave me here. I'll be fine. It's fine. It's okay. I love you guys. Thank you again so much for working with me throughout the glitches of the software. But oh, I'm so glad. I'm glad. If it's working for you, let it work for you, girl. Okay? Let it work for you. What I'm doing is working for me. I think you all just find yourself where you need to find yourself and just live there. This is my truth. I'm doing it as best I can. So many things for Jackson. We'll update you guys very soon, but this was for tonight. So anywho, love you guys. I gotta go. I appreciate you all so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, y'all. Thank y'all for joining me. Thank y'all, all 90 plus 100 of y'all that joined me. Love y'all. See you next time.